My name is Bo Williams.
And I'm Rachel Whitaker, and we've been selected to begin the digitization process for Shiloh Museum.
To remain relevant in this technology-driven world, Shiloh Museum has decided to begin digitizing their 500,000 historic image collection, and we hope that you'll support us in this endeavor.
The immediate goals of this project are to reach new stakeholders, to create ease of access to collections, and to free up staff time required for on-site visits to view images. We hope to establish protocols that meet industry standards to ensure a quality digital collection. While there will be some trial and error initially, we hope to quickly establish an efficient workflow that additional staff can be trained on as needed. More practically, the goals are to build a digitization lab and to get started on digitization.
Our future goals are to establish a selection policy for future digitization projects, as well as protocols for receiving digital-born donations.
During the planning and research stage, we contacted several museums and libraries to inquire after their digitization methods, storage, and concerns. These sites were very helpful in determining which platforms and hardware would best suit our needs as a museum and archive, while also not overinflating our budget. So based on these interviews, site visits, and other research, this is what we are proposing. First, we propose the use of Luna as the digital asset management system for cataloging and access point for the public. Provides ease of access and usability on both the back end and the user interface. Additional customization is also appealing. For users to access the collection, a link will take them directly from our website to the Luna site. Take a second to see what it looks like for the end user.
This is a Hasselblad H6D 400C 100 megapixel medium format SLR camera that costs upwards of $50,000. Take a moment to comprehend a camera that costs as much as a high-end car, while also keeping in mind that this is only for the camera body. This doesn't even include a lens. Now, in an ideal world, with a blank check, this would be the camera that we would choose to use. But in the real world, we are advocating for the Fujifilm GFX 50S, which is a medium format mirrorless camera with a significantly less dramatic price tag. While this price tag may seem a bit steep, keep in mind that this one does include the lens, and in fact it is the perfect lens for what we are trying to do with this digitization project. Because it is a mirrorless system, it is more easily adapted to other applications besides your basic imaging. If you want to use it on a microscope or a telescope, adapters can be purchased to do so. Besides the added benefit of versatility, this camera will provide image quality and resolution equatable to that $50,000 camera we looked at previously, making it ideal for digitizing images in high resolution. This method entails using a digital camera and a lens capable of focusing extremely close, being mounted on a copy stand, which also includes a light table. Since negatives need to be illuminated from behind, the light table projects light through the negative, which illuminates it, which allows the digital camera to capture that image in negative form while being backlit. That image is then imported into one of the programs in the Adobe suite, in this case, Adobe Lightroom. Within Lightroom, there's a plugin we will be utilizing called Negative Lab Pro. This simply allows the program to invert the negative into a positive, producing an image you should be more familiar with. Inside this program, you're also able to do your basic editing of different exposure settings and cropping and anything else we might need. It works for both black and white negative images as well as color. In conjunction with the full Adobe Creative Suite, we will be using the Fujifilm tethering plugin, which allows us to capture the image without touching the camera, minimizing vibration during exposure. We will also be using Negative Lab Pro, which is a plugin for Lightroom. For tasks too great for Adobe Lightroom, we will have Photoshop also at our disposal, as well as Acrobat DC Pro, which allows us to keep scrapbooks together so researchers can view not only the image itself, but also the image within the context of the larger object. If you're asking yourself why you would choose to use a digital camera on a copy stand over a traditional bed scanner, you are not alone. So allow this copy stand professional to explain.
Many may ask why use a copy stand and not a scanner? Well, there are 5 main reasons. First, you have the ability to capture a RAW file. Second, it's much faster to photograph than waiting for a slow scanner. Third, it's much simpler than using a complicated holder. Simply lay the film down, put a piece of glass on top, and shoot. Fourth, high-quality scanning options are more limited than they have been previously. Fifth, the copy stand also gives you more versatility when it comes to photographing different size film or transparencies and different mediums, such as a glass negative.
Ideally, this is what Adobe recommends for their programs. This particular model has the processing capabilities, but for our project would require additional memory over and above the base package. The Surface Pro is ideal because it is designed for this type of project, but we can create our own workaround if necessary. This is a lofty goal, but we can customize a high-spec gaming computer that will be capable with the needs of the software for less.
Unfortunately, a computer and camera are simply not enough to complete this project. There are a few more components necessary to ensure success. These include a secondary monitor, color calibration tools, precision mouse, spare batteries, SD cards, EVF tilt adapter. And as many of these components are quite valuable, they need to be stored in a lockable electronics dry cabinet.
Once we have begun this process, we do not want to lose all of the work we have done. In order to preserve the work, the industry standard requires at least 1 or 2 backups, with one preferably off-site. We are hoping to use a city-hosted server as an off-site backup, but we will need some tech for in-house backups and also for storage space for working files.
All of this equipment has been selected with 2 things in mind. 1, longevity, and 2, quality. Not only are these items modern and still supported, but they are state-of-the-art, and they are of such a quality that it will be many years before something surpasses them. As far as quality is concerned, these items have been carefully selected because, when worked in conjunction with each other, we would no longer be limited by technology. Instead, we would only be limited by the fidelity of the original image that we would be copying.
The collection that has been selected as the flagship project is the Washington County Historical Society donation. There are over 5,000 images that have been cataloged for this collection. It's one of our most oft-requested collections for researchers to view. It also includes some very fragile items and scrapbooks which are bulky and awkward to access. By digitizing this collection, we will be making available a unique and locally relevant treasure trove. Researchers from outside the area would have access around the clock and from the convenience of their home.
Thank you for your time and consideration.
We'll take questions at this time. Also, if you'd like to stay after the meeting and geek out with us about technology, we'll be happy to stay and hang out.